Today we are comparing the new Apple MacBook Pro 16-inch versus the MacBook Pro Air M1. Now both are great, but which one is going to be right for you? The MacBook Air M1 was my daily driver for over a year. It's really portable and easy to use with decent power for both photo and video editing. Now a huge difference between them is size, and having a laptop you want it to be portable and easy to take with you. So let's see if both can fit inside this small backpack. First, the Air. Being 13-inch, this fits easily into the inside pocket of this bag without any issues. But what about the 16-inch? And surprisingly, this also fits into the same small bag. So both are equivalent winners here. So if you want in a laptop and you want to be able to take it with you, but you've only got a small bag without buying a big laptop bag, then both are going to be portable. Now this is due to putting it into a bag. There's not a huge difference here. The Air is 21.24 centimeters compared to 24.81, but the biggest difference is the width at over 5 centimeters more on that 16-inch. So if portability is a factor, then certainly the Air is winning here. It's also a lot more lightweight at 1.29 kilograms compared to over 2 kilograms on the 16-inch. It's also much thicker as well due to this new retro look, so it's not as easy to carry with you, but both do the job well. Looking and comparing the screens, we have a complete outright winner here. The new MacBook Pro 16-inch has a 16.2 XDR display with 100 nits brightness, but goes all the way up to a peak brightness of 1600 nits. It also has ProMotion 120Hz refresh rate. Now compare that with the Air, this has a 13.3-inch LED display, only 400 nits of brightness. The screen on the 16 Pro is simply the best screen I have ever seen on a laptop or monitor. It is breathtaking. The vibrant colours and brightness are just unmatched. The Air performs well, and if you're going to be using the laptop just mainly for watching Netflix or YouTube or just the odd bits of browsing, then this is more than good enough. As you can see here, the Air does well. It has nice colours. It's just compared to the overall brightness of that 16-inch is where it just doesn't compare in any stretch. That 1600 nits of peak brightness compared to 400 in real life is a big difference. Also the darks are a lot darker as well. You can see here that on the left hand side that 16-inch screen is completely black, whereas it looks more of a midnight black on the Air. So yeah, screen wise, huge difference there. And for me, for video editing and photo editing, having this really bright display, but also to get the best possible picture and video quality when you're watching a film, that screen is absolutely fantastic. And it's obviously the price point reason why this laptop is one of the reasons why it is more expensive as well. But yeah, both are good screens, but if you want the best of the best, you're going to have to jump up and get this new XDR display. Now for performance, both are complete animals. Has the Apple M1 chip compared to the Apple M1 Pro chip. Performance of 10-core CPU, 16 gigs of RAM in the 16-inch and 8-core 8 gig of RAM model I had in the Air. Now for everyday tasks like emails and browsing, both are lightning fast. Photos and video editing is also a breeze on both. I'm sure you've seen loads of Geekbench results, I'm not going to discuss them today, but for everyday real world performance, the Pro is obviously much faster. Apps open a lot quicker. Batch processing with multiple photos or videos is so much quicker as well. But if you're using a laptop for say work or as a student and you're just taking notes or just doing minor photo editing, then the Air is more than enough at the price point. It's fantastic to get all that performance in that laptop at under £1,000. This was able to edit and do all photo editing and minor video editing without any problems whatsoever. When it comes to video editing, if you're going to be doing multiple streams of 4K or different overlays, the M1 Air does start to struggle, and then in a rendering test, the Air was 9 minutes and 31 it would take to render compared to the Pro 16, which was 3 minutes 45, so much faster. And when you're editing lots of different videos, then that time makes a big difference. It means you can then stop that and then start another task rather than just sat around waiting. Performance, big winner. Okay, let's do now a quick sound and FaceTime test on both laptops. First, the Air. guys, so I'm now using that front-facing camera on the MacBook M1 Air. This is what it's going to be looking like and sounding like. I've got some lights behind me, also just above me, so it's quite well lit studio this. Alright, so I'm now using the MacBook Pro M1 16-inch. Front-facing camera, it's got 1080p now, so it should be clearer and also sound better because it's got studio quality microphones, it says on this laptop, so it should sound better. Now, ports and connections are something which we always want and missed. For years now, we have had really limited ports to make everything really nice and streamlined, but we always lost out and therefore had to always carry around with us some kind of dongle. But fortunately now, because of this now thicker retro design, the ports are back. So the Pro has got all the ports back, a MagSafe charger, 3 USB-C ports, an SD card reader, a headphone port, HDMI port, and Touch ID on the keyboard. So I would rather have a thicker design but have all these ports back for sure. And not having those ports was sadly missed. Having to reach for that dongle all the time was an absolute pain. I'm sure thousands of you will agree. So having these ports back are fantastic. It's also got a massive trackpad on this 16-inch model, a huge full-size keyboard as well, Touch ID. Everything on here is just an absolute breeze to use. Now the Air is also good, but it is limited on these connections with a headphone port on one side and then nothing else. On the other side you've got 2 USB-C ports, but when you are charging this, one of those is then going to be in use, meaning that you only got 1 USB-C port potentially available, which is not great, which means you've then got to have with you all of the time a dongle, and then with that dongle you can pick these up. They're normally about £40, and then from here you can get different quality ones, but that's going to give you extra USB-C ports, HDMI, etc. But it's not great to have to carry this around, and they're not all very good. So again, it comes down to your usage. Are you going to have your laptop mainly just on a desk all the time? In which case, a dongle's probably all right. But if you're going to be traveling around a lot or using your laptop in different places, you might not want to carry a dongle around with you all the time. Therefore, having more ports available is going to probably be a big advantage to you. On the Air, you get a 30-watt USB-C power adapter compared to a 140-watt USB-C power adapter on the 16-inch. It's going to give you over 20 hours of battery life. And in real-world tests for editing, you can still get over 10 hours of actually editing, which is unheard of. And it's also great that this is now magnetic and it just snaps into place, so no more falling over your laptop anymore. Connections, ports, big winner. So overall, it comes down to your usage and needs for this laptop. So price is a big consideration. The laptop 16-inch Pro was £2,400 UK pounds. And then currently the Air is around about £920. I'll put some links in the description below. Both are fantastic, but a significant difference there between the two. Now you're obviously getting a lot more power, performance and tech in that 16-inch. And it does warrant the price because I've never had a laptop that performs just this well. The notch, you get used to that and it doesn't distract you at all. That goes away really quick. But both are fantastic laptops. If you're a student or just need it for office or just having a laptop with you just for basic tasks, I would go with the M1 Air. This allowed me for over a year to be able to do almost daily video editing without any problems and also fly through other apps like photo editing. But if you want the best performance, something which is going to last you a number of years, to have that best quality, that screen, that super bright screen, and just have screaming raw power to perform all the different tasks you might want it to do, then this could be a good investment for you by picking up the best laptop. I just went for the base model Pro and that was more than enough. It's an absolute animal. But if you want to pick out both, they're both fantastic. I'll link in the description below. Let me know which one you might pick or which one you already have. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.